Today we're going to talk about how to flirt over text, how to run your text game. I'm going to go from the very approach all the way through to the end and explain the entire process or exactly how I did this. You'll be able to steal my methodology and steal some examples from me. Through this, I've got a whole philosophy here and we've got a lot to cover in this video. This is going to be a very complicated video. But before we kick it off, I'm Dave, and this channel is dedicated to giving you no bullshit, novel dating advice for the modern man. My book, The Disabled Casanova, is in the description, and I have a 30-day cold approach challenge to help you get into cold approach. I've also got a Telegram group if you want to join up, totally for free, with some like-minded individuals. So, how to flirt over text, and I think it's important to start with the cold approach. So for instance, it was afternoon, after work, I was walking towards the train station, and this beautiful girl that seemed to be, I think she's 22, 23 years old, she was walking towards me, and as you should be, when you're getting into cold approach, you should be switched on all the time. And we made eye contact, and there was enough time. She was about five or so meters in front of me on this side coming towards me. We made eye contact, and I just simply said, "Hey, how you going?" That was it. So it was eye contact, hey, how you going? And then she got to the side on, so it wasn't like she walked in a long way and then I had to pivot 180 and we continued. It was literally she stopped right next to me, turned side on, gave me an opportunity to run the conversation. I obviously pivoted, it was indirect. I pivoted into what is she doing right now. Obviously early afternoon, if she had dinner plans. She was busy at that stage, but I suggested maybe another time, and I suggested sushi. Okay, so she gave me a number, and then we started out with the texting. And what happened was she just ghosted me, and she went totally silent, radio silent, and I believe it was over 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks. And this is the first lesson, obviously the cold approach, I just told you how that ran, but the second part is, when they ghost on you, don't keep texting. Don't keep doubling up and tripling up and quadrupling up the text. Don't sit there and message her every 3 days and go, "Hey, did you see my last message?" That's a good way to ruin it. It's a good way to come across, obviously people talk about it being needy, but if you think about it from her point of view, if there's a lot of guys messaging her already, and a guy's messaging a lot, it can actually be scary for her. It can be intimidating. And the last thing you want to do is be intimidating her, and you might not realize it, and it's not very intimidating, obviously, just to keep texting, but in her eyes, a lot of girls, and I think this type of girl would see it as a little bit intimidating. Early 20s, kind of a backpacker on a visa, working in a cafe, surrounded by a lot of guys that drink and stuff like that. So there's a lot of guys around. She's way above my sexual marketplace value. There's definitely a good 17-year difference, something like that. She's stunning, just going silent, radio silence. And texting is a bad idea. So what you do is you leave it out there. So just say you did invite and there's a question mark on the last message, and if it gets to 2 weeks and she has not replied, just delete that message thread and move on. And you never know, maybe she will come back and go something like this. So this is what I received, and that's why we get to this point, because I had already deleted the thread. And she's quite enthusiastic, so look at this. Yes, definitely, haha, I can do Wednesday. Sorry, I read your message today at work and forgot to reply. See, so the thing is, it was over 2 weeks. It was almost 3 weeks before she replied. And straight away, if you have a look at my message, great. I'm thinking of having sushi tonight, but yes, let's meet next Wednesday. Now, okay, so if you have a look at that, she just jumped in. She didn't even look at the date. So it was over 2.5 weeks, something like that. And she just jumps in and goes, "Oh yeah, Wednesday sounds good." This is someone who has, I'm very low on her priority list. Let's just put it that way. Obviously, I'm not high on her priority list. She didn't even really read the message. But if you have a look at the way I mirrored, see, her message is yes, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. My reply is great, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Then it goes straight into one sentence and then a smiley face. If you look at mine, I'm thinking of having sushi tonight, smiley face. You can see that I am mirroring, right? The emoticon's the same, the exclamation mark's the same. It's basically about the same amount of text. This is a little bit too in-depth, but mirroring does work. The mirroring the way they text is my philosophy. It can go too far, don't go too far, but generally they notice that. They might think, is he copying me? Or does he just happen to text the same way as me? It shows them another depth. There's a lot of depth there. She starts thinking about other things. Okay? There we go. There's a lot of energy as well. Oh my god, you're going to have sushi without me? Boom, straight away. She's gone from not replying for over 2.5 weeks to showing that she's kind of keen, and it looks like she's very keen. But the thing is, she didn't reply for 2.5 weeks. Now, I dare say the vast majority of men out there would message and message and message and get frustrated, get angry, go, "Hey, are you reading my messages?" And some guys actually get very bitter and they'll be like, "Well, screw you too," you know, and get angry. Don't do any of that. If I had done that, I wouldn't have been in this situation with a girl so far above my sexual marketplace value, and I would never have had a shot at this at all. Now, then obviously I go into, okay, well this is another one. I lied about my birthday. So I ran out of ideas and I thought by throwing in my birthday it might help. Now I don't necessarily recommend that you guys do it, but I did. I lied and said it was my birthday tomorrow, because she had literally just replied, and I thought, let's just try and make this happen fast. You can steal that one as well if you like. She's like, "Really? Happy birthday?" "Yes, really. I can have a second birthday with you on Wednesday." Yes, she has a pattern to her messages if you have a close look. This is actually a good idea. "Can't wait till Wednesday. Happy birthday." And then I go, "Thank you." And if you look at the emoticon that I'm using is exactly the same. Okay, and so then I believe it was, by the looks of things, 4 days later, we still haven't organized, it should have been organized, a time to meet. How does 5 p.m. work for you? Cool. And then the same day, by the looks of things, the same day she replied, so she's becoming a little bit more reliable. "Good afternoon." So this is a pattern of hers, and you can see "good afternoon," and it's not an emoticon. It's a ... It's an old school emoticon. "Yeah, 5 p.m. works for me. Where do you want to meet?" And this is something that I recommend that you guys do. You actually just take a photo or screenshot Google Maps and then put a cross in there. It just adds a little bit more to it. And if you have a look upstairs, there are some seats where we can meet, and you can see the emoticon. I copied the same emoticon. Now, all good, the same pattern. "Have a great day, I'll see you tomorrow, blah blah blah." What I usually do at this point is, a lot of guys, they say, "Look, turn up 15 minutes late and pretend that you don't care." I tend to see that as being a bit of a dick move, and it doesn't necessarily work in my opinion. I like to actually get there 15 minutes early and message, "I'm here early, are you close?" And what that tends to do is get you some sort of brownie points. Okay, now I totally understand if guys want to turn up late and they want to play the "I don't care," I've got mystery. I'm a mysterious man that turns up late because I'm so busy and you're not really that important. I get it. I get it. But in the 21st century, in 2020, I don't think that that is something that works. I don't think that that works, especially when a girl actually does have a lot on her plate. She has a lot of options, and society panders to the woman. I think turning up early and kind of making her feel bad that she's late is far better of a strategy, in my opinion. But if you guys want to turn up late, that's perfectly okay. This tends to work better for me. So there we go. We'll have a look. Arg! Exclamation mark. I'm sorry. I'm on my way. I'll be there in about 13 to 15 minutes late. And then I'm like, okay. Take your time. And there's no pressure. I'm showing that I'm pretty easygoing. I don't really care. I've got so and there we go. Okay, so that's the first one, and you can see okay, so that was the first date. Now I didn't try to escalate too much, just had a little date. Okay, got a message the very next morning. Good morning. It was really happy to see you again. Yesterday, I want to say sorry for falling asleep in the middle of dinner. She works a lot in a cafe, so I can understand. She's got a bit on her plate. This seeing that she was a little bit tired and she made a big effort, that wins her brownie points, in my opinion. And then obviously, so I replied the same day, not too long afterwards. I was happy to see you too, and you can see how I mirrored it. I mirrored the bad grammar. We can do it again Friday or Saturday this weekend. I hope your writing went well after. So 2 days later, she replies. This is not a girl that leaves that is very reliable. She's a little bit all over the place, and with this type of girl, if you're going to get frustrated and you can't deal with her taking 2 weeks to reply or taking 2 days to reply, in a way it could be a test. There could be so many guys messaging her and she's trying to find a few guys to hang out with that are not going to chuck a tantrum and get angry and pressure her all the time. Maybe this could be something that she's doing subconsciously. She could be kind of testing me. And I do know that by pulling back and playing this style of game, I'm just being super patient, super understanding, and just waiting for my chances. This is, with this type of girl, in my opinion, the best way to run it. You have to be patient with this type of girl, or you're going to lose her. And so it's up to you. Let your emotions get in the way, get all emotional, burn it, or be patient and methodical and be the type of guy that it seems like she wants at this particular moment. I believe that being patient is the best option at this point. So I hope your writing went well after the coffee. I was unpacking my stuff yesterday and then totally forgot to reply. We're seeing a pattern here. There's a pattern in how she texts, there's a pattern in how she behaves, and there's a pattern on how unreliable she is. So there we go. I still replied only a few hours later. I'm reliable in replying. I'll reply within a couple of hours of her texting me, and then I'll know that it could take up to 2.5 weeks for her, worst case scenario, to reply to me. And by staying patient and understanding that, and also understanding that she may never get back to me, I still leave myself open to her coming around another time and coming back in contact with me. And I believe that it is better to leave it hanging, be patient, and leave the option open for her to go, oh sorry, I should have messaged you later, and coming back, than getting angry, chucking a tantrum, messaging going, oh you're frustrating me, I'm frustrated, blah blah blah. That I don't think is the best way, because you're just burning it for no reason. I have had girls, the worst case scenario was a girl messaged me 6 months later. And by just being patient, deleting the thread, and then moving on, because I have lots of other options to keep me busy, and I have cold approach, and that's what hopefully you are going to learn as well. Doesn't really matter. I'm meeting girls continuously, and they're constantly just girls in the bank. The bank just keeps piling up, and there's a lot of girls that come back after several months. Yeah, 6 months was probably the longest. So being patient, I believe, is the best way to go in this kind of 2020 environment in a first world country. So it's going well. You know, we can still have dinner together tonight. So what I'm doing, you can see a pattern here. I'm constantly, as soon as she gets back to me, I'll reply within a couple of hours and then go, oh, we can still have dinner tonight, and trying for it. I'm at least trying, right? Haha, good on you. I think it's a bit late to do, isn't it? And if you have a look, I didn't reply to that for 2 days. That was the first time I made her wait. So if you have a look, let's book in Friday night after work. This gives us all week to make sure it happens this time. If you have a look, she literally replied within a few minutes. So, but the thing is, up until this point, she was getting used to me replying within a few hours, quite fast. And I didn't reply after she turned me down on the weekend for 2 days. That was the longest I kept her waiting. I recommend for you guys, this is another tip, I wouldn't recommend you wait more than 2 days. There's a lot of information in this video, but I don't recommend that you become unreliable and play the, oh, well, I can wait longer game. Because if she's unreliable and you're unreliable, well, then nothing's going to happen, right? It's your job to continuously you know, at least be reliable, because if you're both unreliable, you're never going to meet, right? So how does that work? And you'll notice here that she noticed. Now, she might be playing a game here. She might be playing with me. She might be testing me. She might be subconsciously doing it or consciously doing it, right? Now, then we have a look. Her reply, yes. Friday after 5 p.m. She replied, boom, instantly. And then what I did was I used that as an opportunity to let her know that I'm aware of how unreliable she is. And I said, whoa. And I used a different emoticon, and I believe that she's using this old style emoticon because she's realized that I was mirroring her. But I don't care. I'm still going to play the game. And she might just think that I actually accidentally, miraculously text the same way she does. And that could be a way of building some sort of rapport together. That was the fastest reply yet. That broke all records. You see? And I left it there. Exclamation mark. That's how she plays it. And then she replied literally half an hour later. Sorry for the late replies all the time. Just that I grabbed my phone at the right time. This was during when I was writing the book. So what I would do is sometimes I told her that I was writing the book. I sent her a photo of how many pages I had written at this point, and I did that pretty much 24 hours later. I left the, whoa, that was the fastest reply yet, broke all records. See, I'm trying, if possible via text, to train her to reply to me, right? There's a lot of things going on at once. And she replied instantly. She became receptive straight away. So there was a lot of voids there where the vast majority of beginners would have chucked a tantrum, and the vast majority, if not all intermediates at texting and game, would have totally destroyed this, because they would have got frustrated. They would have at least sent 2 texts. One of them might have been a little bit passive aggressive. Something else would have gone wrong. And the vast majority, this is the difference between intermediate and advanced text and game, and having the patience. This is patience. Having the patience and what is it? Sympathy, understanding that people are busy. These are things that come with maybe a bit of maturity and doing this long enough. So you guys are learning quite a lot here. Wow, 140, 102 pages, blah, blah, blah. Then I replied, I'm replying regular again. Smashing it out so hard, I'll try finish it by Friday. Don't forget we were meeting at 5 p.m. Let's meet in the same place as last time. So I'm now, you notice those two texts, there's no real smiley faces, there's no, emoticons, there's no exclamation marks. It's very logical because this is another lesson. I'm noticing, and everything's very methodical here, that she's replying. And if you have a look through the last couple of text bits of this thread, she starts replying within half an hour. So I'm starting to see compliance. When I start seeing compliance, I can become more logical and just get to the point as to what I want, right? You can't play that game when you're in the midst of battle, in the fog of war. But this is something that comes with a lot of experience. And so, yeah, that's why it's logical now. And then as you can see, she replied within pretty much half an hour again. Can we do tomorrow? Because I can't do it today. I have a tutorial, blah, blah, blah. Timetable has been changed. And then what did I say? So she sent me her schedule, obviously to prove to me, which is another great sign. That's a great sign. And then I went, geez, here we are. What is the time frame? Pretty much straight away. I can cancel something to meet you tomorrow at 5 p.m. but only if you turn up 100%. So I'm starting to make it clear that I'm aware. And she didn't reply. As you can see, she didn't reply for 6 days after that. And I can cancel something to meet you by tomorrow at 5 p.m. The G's might have, I text that all the time to friends, and it's not real, it's not a negative thing, but she might have seen that as negative. But only if you turn up 100%. That was maybe a little bit too aggressive because she doesn't really know me. She's probably looking at that thinking, he's getting demanding already. You see? A little bit too demanding. I could have just flowed back into, oh, it's okay. No worries. We can do it next time. And then tried to pick it up. This is a constant battle. This is a constant trying not to go too far and trying to gauge it continuously. That's what texting is. It's a constant battle, mirroring, trying to build rapport, trying not to go too far, being very patient, being very understanding, and then through that fog of war, trying to line up a date. And this is not me texting a girl that's on my level or a girl that's beneath me. And it's not a girl that's just a little bit better looking than me and a little bit more value. This is a girl approximately, I don't know, 16, 17, 18 years younger than me, body like a supermodel, and way above my sexual marketplace value. Grandpa's not rich. Grandpa's got a bit of a dad bod. But what I need to do is have really good game to try and make this work, and that's what's happening here. So here we go. So 6 days later, I throw in another text. We're coming up to our usual Friday, and I'm trying to build it. Okay, well, it's a usual Friday. Like, this is a usual thing that we do when we try to coordinate to meet up every week. So I'm throwing it out there, and as you can see, by the looks of things, she waited 24 hours to respond. Whether that was, isn't this kind of, you see the game that's being played. That was 24 hours. That was 24 hours. Now, a lot of people would see that as disrespectful. If that was a friend of mine or a guy, I would be like, screw you, buddy. You're just so disrespectful. But this is game. Welcome to the real world, guys. Welcome to 2020, where you want to try and get a date or sleep with a beautiful girl. This is what game is. If she's super hot and you're super hot, or you got money and you've got all these other things going for you, you're jacked and you're a pretty boy, you don't need to really run through this. You don't really need to jump through these hoops. This is like a lightweight jumping into the ring with the heavyweight champion and figuring out a way to take the heavyweight champion down in the UFC. It's almost impossible in real life, and that's kind of what we're talking about here. This is some next level text, okay? And it's frustrating, and the point is that most people would go, this guy's just trying so hard to make it happen and it's not worth it. And if you believe that, I totally understand that. Totally understand that. But if you want to have those magical moments, this is what you got to do. So 24 hours later, she replies, but as you see, I have tutorials every Friday. Can we do Thursday or some other day? So she showed her schedule. She sent her schedule to me a week prior. And I'm trying to chase it up for an entire week, and then I get, but as you see. So you would think that this conversation would have all been sorted out a week prior. But she's happy to run out 1 or 2 messages a week to me and just keep me hanging. This is a patience game. And as you can see, then where did I reply? I replied within a couple of hours. Oh damn, just saw this 3 hours late, and I decided to play some weird game here. I throwed in the mirroring emoticon, as you can see. I wanted to reply fast to make you feel bad. I realized that I had made a mistake before by coming off a little bit too aggressive and a little bit too demanding, so I've pulled it back with this. It's a childish kind of message. It's childish, but to try and wheel myself back as someone who accidentally she might have misinterpreted me as aggressive. And it's a little bit childish, I get it. It's mirroring, you can see the mirroring. And I messaged 2 messages together by the looks of things. We can do this weekend or Thursday for sure. So I'm giving 2 options there. I've gone from being logical and thinking that I've got compliance to her putting me back in my place and making me wait an entire week. So what she was doing here is she was showing me who's boss. And let's just be realistic, guys. She gets to choose. There's a lot of guys that wouldn't be able to handle this, but she gets to choose. She obviously has a lot of guys to choose from to hang out with. She's gorgeous. She put me back in my place. Welcome to game in 2020. And how long? She made me wait over 24 hours for the reply. Next Thursday it is. Exclamation mark, smiley emoticon. We're back with the smiley emoticons because I just got my tattoo done. So I might just have a rest today and tomorrow. She's got a tattoo. Show me your tattoo, I want to see. And I replied to her within an hour. So I'm being reliable. I'm replying to her. I'm not getting frustrated and I only made her wait 2 days over that weekend. And that was just to let her know that I might have had other plans on the weekend. And to, but as you can see, so, and she goes, what do you think? Sent me the tattoo. Because it's about her, she's very, she wants me to see. And then I replied straight away, whoa, it's big, it's fuzzy, can't see it though. Emoticon, She's replying fast. We're getting a whole, an entire conversation in this time. This is the first time since I've known her. Just saw the WhatsApp video. She sent me a WhatsApp video, and then I waited 24 hours. So I just had that little conversation. I waited 24 hours again, because I didn't want to come across to, too pushy or demanding. Lock in 5 p.m. Thursday, bring your tattoos. I thought I'd throw that in. And then she replied, by the looks of things, within 2 hours. Thursday, I lost my phone yesterday. She's making more excuses, which is good, no matter how ridiculous these excuses are. So in love with Australia now, lol. Let's meet in the same spot. Today's last time. I can't tell how long ago that was. Probably like 3 hours after her. She replied, and then she goes, yuppie, see you later. And then what did I do? As you can see, at 4:47 I messaged, I'm here. And then she goes, I'm here. And she was 1 minute late. She was pretty much right on time. And then because it was such a long time between the cold approach, the first date, and this is the second date, what I did on the date, instead of going out to a restaurant or doing anything else, I went directly from the meeting point at 5 o'clock straight to my bedroom. I said, I'm cooking, and she was totally okay with that. We picked up some food, we went straight back to my place. I put the food in the kitchen and then walked her into my bedroom. And everything went extremely smooth. I guess through the text she could see that I was patient. She could understand that I was not pushy, needy. It's as if she tested me to look for neuroticism, anger, passive aggressive, demanding, beta male behavior. She tried to look for it, she filtered for it, and she did a very good job. And she almost beat me. But this is the difference between someone who would have a bit of an abundance and then get frustrated and get angry at the girl, and someone who's willing to play the long game. You can steal my examples, you can steal my methodology of patience. But this is what it takes for you as a man to get a girl to hang around and, I guess, at least sleep with you, that is way above your sexual marketplace value. This is one of the toughest things to do. And they will test you, and they have a lot of options. And so what do you bring to the table except for this type of text game? So hopefully you've enjoyed that. Hopefully it made sense to you. If you disagree with that and you think it's a bit weak, that's fine. You can be alpha and tell her off, tell her who's boss, but you're not going to be converting very difficult, high-value girls that are way above your sexual marketplace value. You're going to continue to lose them, and most guys do. From my experience from looking in these type of communities. So if you like this video, click the subscribe button, click the bell icon. You can buy my book, it's in the description, and I've also got a 30-day cold approach challenge in the description as well. I'll see you tomorrow.